According to a survey conducted by the 2020 Annenberg Constitution Day Civic Survey, out of 1,009 people, 19% of people did not know a single freedom from the First Amendment right. Hi, I am Logan, and I will be discussing our amendment rights as citizens and when/how they are being abused or manipulated. By the end of this speech, you should agree that our amendment rights are being taken advantage of and what we as citizens can do to intervene and hold others accountable. Recently, in America, the most popular freedom that I believe is being manipulated is the freedom to petition. There have been many shootings caused by corrupt police officers recently racially profiling African American people. In response to these shootings, many have gathered in support of Black Lives Matter, seeking justice, which I believe is totally okay. But there are other individuals who have instead decided to abuse the First Amendment, specifically petition, for financial gain or just to destroy our great American cities for no reason. USA Today published an article on violent protesting after more protesting violence erupted last week in Kenosha, Wisconsin. After Jacob Blake was shot in the back by police, the mayhem followed a familiar pattern where during the day protests were completely fine, very peaceful, and then as soon as night rolled around, there were riots and looting everywhere. This rage-fueled anarchy is no substitute for reform-based policy. And as violence in the street continues, as it has in Portland, it is becoming a problem for election year based off Democrats. To me, this problem is affecting our freedom to support our own ideas. Riots is causing our peaceful protests to be overlooked in the media and also the government by promoting instead the most recent violence that has occurred. You should care about this topic because as students and early adults, this affects our lives. During this time of independence that we have, we make critical changes that will affect our lives and rights down the road. If we do not see the change that is needed in our society, then important events such as protesting will continue to be taken less seriously due to people wanting to cause damage to our cities and those business families. Now that we have a glimpse as to how these rioters are affecting these movements for the worse, let's discuss what we can do as individuals to benefit our current position. A quote from Gandhi says, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." That means, even though you're looking at this presentation, you have to fully take it on and, hold people accountable. Make sure that everyone isn't abusing their rights and make sure that you have rights that are solid and have foundation. In order to overcome these biases, we need to prevent violence from happening when protesting change. If violence strikes out, the issue becomes pushed into the background, displaying just the violence that surrounds this movement to the media. We can improve by reading our amendment rights over again, and then continuing to watch the news so that we are able to point out when things published in the media are potentially taking away our rights, abusing beyond a constitutional level, or are just flat-out lies. Being able to tell what is and what isn't protected as an American citizen is important. It will allow us to keep the media and others accountable to our rights. When we adhere to these practices, we will see a decrease in violence. We will act respectfully and push the message of change rather than pushing the message of needing revenge and destroying cities. You should now agree that our amendment rights are being taken advantage of and how we can now hold others accountable for their actions. While there is still need for growth, there is plenty of good news. A lot of people, the other, 71% of people do know their rights and practice them daily. If you would like to further explore your rights, there are so many resources that you can look to. One of the ones that I've provided is insider.com, and if you search on that website what our amendment rights are, it will give you a thorough list of each and every amendment and break it down in depth as to how you can use it in your day-to-day life and how it affects us in today's society. For more information, you can always just look up on Google what our amendment rights are and the meaning behind them. Stand up for your rights. They're important as American citizens, and it's a right. I mean, we should just make sure that they are that they have a foundation that isn't broken. Thank you.